influential, if not powerful, group of people across a wide spectrum discussing what those elites are up to.
Phew. Yeah, because I was worried about those. I was worried about those elites influencing people across their mass media network, but we don't have to worry about that anymore because now there's a new group of powerful people that are going to tell you what to think. Instead of the old mainstream media network, there's a new group of them, okay? And they've got nothing to do with those elites whatsoever. And they're just going to be presented to you on the platforms that the elites own, like Spotify, YouTube. They're going to be presented to you on there, and they've got nothing to do with the elite. They're not like the old people that told you what to think. They're the new people that tell you what to think. And you can trust them because they're cool and they're dude and they're bro, you know, and they smoke weed and they're really clever because they're an evolutionary biologist, some of them, even though the advice they were giving you when it mattered was absolutely terrible. You know, and even though they've got huge reach across all the platforms where, you know, you get banned and censored if you're actually working against the establishment. Oh, this is going to be great. Oh, we're so few. I'm so pleased that the old group of powerful, influential people that told us what to think are being replaced by a new group of powerful, influential people that can tell us what to think. Wow, I don't see any potential pitfalls here whatsoever. Few. Please tell us what to think. Tell us who to trust. I wonder who it'll be.
Right? We even, I think, have elites of our own.
I think this is just a theory. It's just a theory. I've got this inkling. This isn't some sort of agreed talking point that we're going to push on people, Joe. Just let me tell you that I think I might have something here, Joe. Let me just float it out there, Joe, and see whether you agree with me or not. I've got no idea which direction this conversation's going to go in, Joe. I've not got a sort of battle plan. I've not got an agenda. I've not got something to push that we're going to bounce back and forward together and convince people of. You know what, Joe? I got this. I think, Joe. Bear with me, Joe. This is not rehearsed or planned that I'm going to say this, but I've got this idea. It's a germ of an idea, Joe. Stay with me, Joe. I love the way Brett Weinstein convinced. Wait a minute. It's coming in live now. Wait a second. I think that we can trust the number one person that the establishment want us to trust, that's being positioned as the person that we can trust, that runs the big social media network, Joe. I think, Joe. I wonder what you'll think, Joe. I wonder if you'll agree with me on this, Joe. The guy that's trying to put chips in people's brains, I think he's the best guy in the world. What do you think, Joe? What do you think with your big multi-$100 million sponsorships and stuff? You've had him on the show 6 times. I wonder, Joe, I think, Joe. I don't know that we're on the same page on this, Joe. I'm spitballing. I'm freestyling here, Joe. Come on, back and forth with me, Joe. Let's just see if somehow we're on the same page here, because I just think, Joe, I think.
I can't be certain, but Musk doesn't look like he's on their team to me.
Brilliant, man. So smooth, Brett. You got all these dummies fooled, man. Wow, so slick. Listen, Joe, I think. Joe, have you got a magnifying glass I can borrow? I'll just hold it up to the screen. I think, Joe. Let me just get in. I think, Joe, just a theory, Joe. I don't know if you're going to agree with me, Joe. Even though you've had the guy on the show 15 times, I know you love the guy, you're friends with the guy, but let me just float this past you, Joe, because I think, Joe, Musk, yes, Brett, it doesn't look like one of them to me. Oh, I wonder which way Joe Rogan will go with this. I wonder. It's a long shot, but I wonder if there'll be any agreement from the other side of the discussion.
He's not on their team.
That's what I think.
Bro, he's not on their team. I smoke weed. He's not on their team. I'm convinced. That's enough for me. He's not on their team. I smoke weed, bro. He's not on their team. Okay, I'm convinced. I get $200 million a year from Spotify. Let me tell you, I can spot somebody who's working for the establishment, and it's not him. He's been a secret sponsor of the podcast for a number of years. Shout out Matthew North.
So let's move on to Elon Musk. Now, I believe, although Elon is not listed as a sponsor, he is a sponsor. And here's why I think that.
From Colorado.
But I did just get a Tesla, so I'm supporting the podcast.
Okay, did you hear that? Okay, he said, I did just...
From Colorado.
But I did just get a Tesla, so I'm supporting the podcast.
I did just get a Tesla, so I'm supporting the podcast. How does that follow? Buying a Tesla supports Joe Rogan's podcast. Is Elon Musk subsidizing Rogan's podcast for an agenda? For propaganda purposes? Absolutely.
But he's not on their team, bro. I smoke weed, bro. He's not. Everyone, this is the biggest podcast in the world. They haven't got to me. You know those people that control all media and all of the internet? Well, guess what? They've never even had a conversation with me, the guy that owns the biggest podcast in the world. Yeah, there's a complete blind spot for them. Yep, they leave me alone.
Musk doesn't look like he's on their team to me.
He's not on their team.
That's what I think.
Well, he's insanely wealthy.
Oh yeah, good point. He doesn't sound like he fits the bill at all.
And independent. And an actual legitimate genius in a world of fools.
This is where this kind of advice starts to become slightly sort of dangerous spiritually. What you're being invited to do here is you're being invited to equate material possessions with wisdom. So anyone like Elon Musk who's got a load of money and wealth, he's a genius because he's got loads of money. But people who don't have money and power and stuff, they're idiots, they're fools. Whereas, in actual fact, Elon Musk walks around in a set of Baphomet armor, which he wore for Halloween, but then had his profile picture for about 6 months. So Elon Musk goes around spitting in the face of God. He's got all this money, he's got all this power, and he's got all this wealth. And not only does he do that, one of his main agendas is to start merging humans and machines, basically, putting chips in people's brains, sort of toying around with God's creation, altering human beings, getting in there, merging them with machines. So what Elon Musk is doing is marching towards a lake of fire that he's going to throw himself into for eternity. That's what he's actually doing. And you can be convinced by someone, Joe Rogan, look how much money this guy's got. He's so clever and everyone else is a fool. Whereas the Bible would say, thinking themselves wise, they became fools. If you truly believe that God has the power to cast you into hell for eternity, the most foolish thing you could do would be to spit in God's face, wear your Baphomet armor, and start encouraging huge amounts of the population to put chips in their brains and become some sort of disgusting amalgamation of human and machine. That's what Elon Musk is really doing. And it might seem to you the sort of the bystander looking in that Elon Musk is this incredibly intelligent, incredibly wise person because he's got all this money and he's got all this stuff. But what I visualize is Elon Musk sort of sitting on this throne like a king, and he's being carried by all these slaves, and he's got all these trains of processions of wealth that he has, and he's being carried towards a lake of fire that he's going to throw himself into for eternity. And people are just looking at that going, wow, man, he's so smart. He's so clever. Whereas in actual fact, there's nothing more foolish you can do than to spit in God's face if God is real. That's why the Bible says the fear of God is the beginning of all wisdom. If you don't have the fear of God, which Elon Musk doesn't, you are a fool. If you don't have the fear of God, the Almighty, And these people that have all this money and all this power and all this influence, they don't have fear of God. You know, Elon Musk does not have fear of God. And if he's wrong, which he is, not to have fear of God, then there's nobody more foolish than someone who doesn't fear God. If God is real, there's nobody more foolish than someone who doesn't fear him. Bearing in mind, he created you. The Bible says not to fear somebody that can kill the body, but fear someone that can cast the soul into hell. And somebody like Elon Musk, with all his money and all his power and his Baphomet armor and LOL, like God doesn't think it's funny when you wear Satan's armor with a Baphomet on there, which is all about child sacrifice. And God doesn't think it's funny when you start putting chips in people's brains. So somebody like Joe Rogan might want to convince you that Elon Musk is this incredible genius because he's got all this money. But I'm telling you, that's not accurate scripturally. Scripturally, the opposite of what Joe Rogan is telling you is true. Okay, you have to choose whether you're going to listen to the word of God or the word of Joe Rogan. And bro, he's a genius, bro. I smoke weed, bro. Or you can listen to God.
Right. And I think...
Not flawless.
Not flawless.
He gets out of line every now and then. He gets a little wacky.
He does.
But he's fun.
He's restless.
He's a fun guy to have at the helm.
These guys are actually hilarious. This is so see-through. And they must think you're so juvenile. They must think you're such an idiot. It's like, he's fun. I like him. He's clever. He's funny. Dude, he's putting chips in your brains. Dressed up like one of the demons from hell while he's doing it. He's fun. He's a little wacky. I love the way they always try and come across nuanced, balanced. They're always there. I don't want to seem like we're pushing him too hard. So I'll be like, no, dude, bro, dude, not flawless. He's a little wacky. He's putting chips in your brains. Which, by the way, is an agenda that Joe Rogan has been pushing on you for a long time. Watch.
That, but also Joe Rogan with Elon Musk, the Neuralink, which he's been promoting, right? The brain lace. This is an agenda that he was promoting long before Elon Musk came out with the Neuralink. Now we're seeing this all over now. We're seeing brain chips, all this idea promoted everywhere. Where did it start? Who was the cultural change agent that originally started pushing this out into the collective unconscious, if you will? Well, Joe did. So let's listen to this from a recent podcast, 2019.
That used to hang around.
I think the cure is mind reading, and I think we're going to accept that cure. Because, Elon is working on some sort of neural link thing.
That's the only way we'll know if someone's telling the truth.
We're going to have it. I think it's good. We're going to accept it, and we're going to give in, and we're going to we're going to be able to. I'll take it another step further. I think they're going to create a universal language. I've been thinking about this a lot. I think there's going to be a universal language that probably is augmented reality, some augmented reality language of shapes or something,
some kind of symbolism.
Symbols.
Something that we agree to. And we're probably not going to accept it because we're old. We're like, fuck this.
Next generation.
Our kids, maybe even our kids' kids. Our kids' kids are going to be the first people to adopt it, and then it's going to be universal worldwide. And with augmented reality and some sort of ability to interact with each other through bandwidth.
I remember through bandwidth. Okay, so it's going to happen. You notice that. It's inevitable. No matter what, this is going to happen. You're going to accept it. So let's listen to this from 2014. How was Joe aware of this agenda years ago? 5+ years ago. How was he aware of this? Why was he promoting this idea? Because he's been working with these circles for a long time.
I think that one of the things that's coming out with technology is access to information. And access to information, not just current information, but maybe even future. Like the ability to read minds, to read thoughts, to read...
Okay. So let's finish this up from the same podcast, finishing on that thought.
Technological symbiotic relationship takes place to the point where we... essentially our memories especially, right? They're pretty piss poor.
Right.
But if we can turn our memories into some digital archive that you can access at will, then we're going to know. I'm going to look in your head, and I'm going to know what's going on. Right. I'm going to be able to tap into it. We'll be connected the same way we're connected with Wi-Fi. The same way our cell phones are connected through the cellular network. There'll be some sort of a network of information exchange between all people. And if that's the case, deception will be almost impossible.
Right.
Motivations will be crystal clear. And you're going to know who's full of shit. It's going to be a fucking bad day for a lot of idiots.
Okay. So, again, promoting that agenda for a long time now. Let's move on here. Again, saying it's inevitable.
That was Elon's other thing that he said on the podcast. You're already a cyborg. You have a phone. It's not in your body, but it's something you're holding on to.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's coming.
It's voluntary cyborg.
It's coming. It's here. It's done. I'm Joe Rogan. I've said it. That's happened now. There's no point resisting or fight. It's done. Bro, dude, I smoke weed. It's done. Bro, dude, I smoke weed, bro, dude. It's done. Forget it. It's finished. I'm Joe Rogan. I got a podcast, man. It's done. You got a chip in your brain. It's done. It's done. Don't even complain. Don't even fight. It's done, bro. I'm smoking weed, bro, dude. It's done. That's it. It's coming. It's coming. Dude, you know how many people listen to this podcast, bro? Dude, I smoke weed, bro. It's done. Put the chip in your brain. It's done. I'm Joe Rogan, bro. Smoke weed, dude, bro. It's done. Don't even think for yourself on this, bro, dude. It's done. It's finished. I think Musk, he doesn't seem like he's one of them. He's just this billionaire dressed like Baphomet trying to put chips in our brains that you've been promoting for years, Joe. And I'm no genius, but I think that doesn't sound like somebody who's working with the elites. A lot of money, controlling social media, putting chips in our brains? Nope. Also, he's fun. I kind of like him. He's fun.
And I think he looks at what is being plotted against us and sees it as a fun challenge to confront it. So that
and he has the resources to do it, unlike most people, and has the courage to do something like completely overpay for Twitter and then have the advertisers lock him out. And literally in a discussion with the guy from the New York Times, he goes, "Go fuck yourself. Go fuck." Let me be clear. Go fuck yourself.
Wow. He's got a potty mouth as well? Bro, dude, weed, bro. Dude, put the chip in my brain right now, bro. I didn't realize he's got a potty mouth. Man, I trust this guy. And he's fun. You don't understand. Not only does he wear the Baphomet armor, he's trying to put a chip in your brain, but he said F. Bro, dude, smoke weed, bro. Put the chip in my brain, bro. He said F? Bro.
Yep.
I don't care. You're trying to blackmail me with money? Go fuck yourself.
Right. And
nobody does that.
Well, on the one hand, nobody does it. On the other hand, I wonder why more people don't, because the fact is he's demonstrating that not only does it work, short term it has costs, but long term he's not exactly losing.
Gee, I wonder why more people don't actually stand up to the establishment and really call people out. You know what happened to Matthew North, the guy's video I've been showing you? He's dead. He died really young after he did that video exposing all the Joe Rogan sponsors and what's really going on. About how every conversation on Joe Rogan is portrayed to you like it's like, hey, dude, I'm just randomly talking about this, but really he's pushing agenda after agenda after agenda. That's what really happens to you, okay? If you really make waves against the establishment, you know, that's what these people, they kill you. You don't become a billionaire and fun. You don't become really fun.
Right?
No, but he's a child of the internet.
Actually, he's the child of this lady. What sort of a person does she look like to you?
In the sense that, like, he makes memes. He posts memes. Like when you post that meme of Bill Gates next to the emoji of a pregnant man and said, "When you want to lose a boner real quick."
Yeah.
That's wild. Because you can't even say, "Oh, fuck that guy, he's a dumbass." It's literally one of the smartest human beings alive and the wealthiest man alive.
Right.
And he's dunking on you on a platform that he owns now.
Right. There's that. I also, as much as it's juvenile,
I love it.
There was
I am
something
juvenile.
No, it's the one where he was asked for comment by one of these legacy media outlets. I don't know if it was the New York Times, but it might as well have been. And he sent back a poop emoji. And it's like, look, that's a wise move because the rules of the game say, he refused to comment.
Right.
But you can't say that if he did comment and it was a poop emoji. You have to report that. So that was extremely clever.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Yeah, you guys are such legitimate, deep-thinking intellectuals. Yeah, and you really like Elon Musk because he's actually a genius because, get this, Joe, you're not going to believe this, Joe, he's so clever. He sent a poop. Yeah. Bro, dude, smoke weed. That guy's so clever. He texted poop. Bro, we should trust this guy and just listen to everything. We should put the chips in our brains, dude. If he said the F word and he sent a text of a poop, wow. I'm convinced